Now, what's up, YouTube? I just started watching this, and before I even got halfway through it, um, I felt I felt it's something that definitely needs to be shared. Um, I hope everybody shares it, but I'm going to do my part here. I'm going to share it with you, and this is something that we've all been suspecting and we've all been talking about. It's just important to be aware of these things. Very important to be aware of these things. This kind of explains quite a bit. It's what's going on right now with targeted individuals, and let's face it, TIs are just the people that are awake, that are noticing it. It's happening to everybody. I mean, this is happening on a massive scale to a lot of people everywhere. There's just a lot of people that aren't aware of TIs or gang stalking or anything like that. They're not aware of anything, nothing like that. They have no idea. They're probably just keeping quiet because they understand, the things that they're experiencing. If they speak out about them, they already know that they don't want to be ridiculed. TIs just seem to be the people that don't really care what people think, what other people think, so they're not afraid to speak out about what they're experiencing. And I mean, we're seeing it more and more. We're finding a lot more people that are, as soon as they discover, what TIs have been talking about, they're they're in there. They're like, oh my God, this is it. Explains exactly what's been going on. That's what happened to me. And that was 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Well, it was in 2020, so 3 years ago. Um, so this is important. What's important is that you don't just watch this and then do nothing. Watch this and then share it. However you share it, it doesn't matter. The point is that you just share it. Whether you tell somebody about it, whether you show somebody, whether you share it on your platform, whether you know, just don't just do nothing, because that's part of the problem, and you don't want to be part of the problem. We're trying to find solutions, right? We want to make sure that they know that we're not going to stand for this. We want to make sure that they know that this is unacceptable, and we're not going to allow them to just totally, do what's not in people's best interests. They already get a bunch of money from us, you know what I mean? They already, everything that they are and everything that they rely on is from us. It's from everything that they've fucking stolen and raped from us, and the data and everything else. It's only right that they should take our best interest at hand. They should want to know. They should care very much what the people want and what people don't want. And it's important that we let them know. But we can't let them know if we don't know. So right now it's a very small, it's a minority of us who even understand or know what's going on or see what's going on. So I guarantee you, if everybody knew what was going on, if everybody was aware and accepting it, the belief, if they believed it, because it's true, but if everybody was aware and able to believe what's going on right now, you and I both know, we all know that it wouldn't fly. It wouldn't fucking last 10 minutes. So watch this, please share it. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it in the comments. And just be good or be good at it. But let's go ahead and watch this here.
There is no way out, and as Larry Page and Sergey Brin cautiously discovered when they launched Google in 1998, everything people do on the internet leaves data. When properly stored and used, this data is a goldmine of complete information about people on a personal level, and valuable information about economic and political trends. Google was the first internet company to make the most of this information, and build a business based on the data that people leave behind. But it didn't take long. This has happened almost everywhere, from the smallest app to the largest platform. Amazon, Instagram, Tinder, Facebook, eBay, Uber, Spotify, Lyft, and Twitter. These platforms all leverage people's data, where we go, who we talk to, what we talked about, and who we see. All this information is recorded. When you visit a place that you tell no one about, Google knows about it. They know us well. including what we hide from friends and family. In our modern internet ecosystem, this private surveillance is the norm.
How can you travel to the south of Minsk?
Yeah,
Okay.
go to Mars. Anywhere.
You can enter the house too
Yeah.
and see the kitchen and this sort of things.
Working on that.
But Google has grown so well, and no one wants to admit the fact that it has also grown worse over the years. However, it is Eric Schmidt became the CEO of Google in 2001. During his tenure as CEO, Google integrated with some power structures in the United States as it morphed into a geographically aggressive megacorporation. But Google has always liked this approach. Also, a long time before Larry Page and Sergey Brin, the founders of Google, hired Schmidt, their initial research on which Google relied was partially funded by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency.
Let's just stop that right there. I just paused it. It's funny. It's just going to sit there and spin. But anyway.
DARPA.
Now you see that, right? DARPA. I've looked into my device, and I don't think it's just my device. I think it's everybody's device. If you look into the legal, um, the legal writing, the legal policy on your device, on your cell phone right now, go into that. There's a privacy policy, terms and conditions, but then there's a legal. There's one that says legal. Okay, and you look at the legal acknowledgments. That's pretty much what you agreed to, and it has all of the different companies and all the different software that you agreed was okay to operate on your phone. But in that, I don't think it's any accident that if you it's a huge list. You have to scroll quite a long time to get through this whole legal document on your phone. When you scroll through it, I did this one time and I found it, and there's a video on my channel somewhere showing this. Right, it's like right in the middle, like in the very middle. It's not at the end, it's not at the beginning, it's in the very middle, maybe even like 2/3 of the way through, which I would consider the hardest place to find. That's the least likely place that people would if you're gonna read it, you're gonna read the beginning of it. You're gonna start scrolling a little bit, and then you're gonna scroll to the end. And it's the most likely that you're gonna skip right by the middle to the 2/3 of the way through, right? That's where they put this. They put DARPA. DARPA's little acknowledgement, legal acknowledgement, or legal, you know, um, the legal acknowledgement, I guess, whatever you want to call it. The part in there that says that DARPA's getting your data. The DARPA can control your phone and the software in it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you agree to it. It's in there. I encourage everybody to take their phone right now and look at the privacy policy and the terms and conditions, but look at that legal one, okay? Look into that legal one and scroll through until you find it. And I bet you, I want to know. I'm curious if other people's are going to find what I found. I, I'm not shitting you. I'm not mistaken. It's without a doubt, it's unmistakable. The DARPA is one of these listed in your device. So that means that they work with these tech companies. They work with, they know this. So DARPA is in there. Go look and find out. Leave your what you find in the comments, if you would. If you don't find it and you're sure it's not in there, I'd really want to know about it and what phone you have and what company. I'd like to know which. We need to share this information and let each other know if there is any devices that aren't compromised. I don't think there are. I think they're all compromised. But that means, if DARPA, I don't know, you can't understand what the legalese even says. They write it in such a way that even a legal expert is going to have a hard time understanding fully what it says. And I think it's like theft by deception, really. They're stealing your data, you know, by deceiving you, by putting a bunch of words in that are misleading and or just unlegible. You can't even read it. You can't even understand what it means. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's fucking wrong. Completely wrong. So do yourself a favor, check it out, and let me know. All right, let's finish this.
You can search the web with real and organic search results and do it without anyone tracking your activity or data. We ourselves use Atlas VPN to protect our data online. Atlas VPN is more than just any other VPN. It blocks all malicious links, ads and trackers and notifies you when someone is trying to spy on or steal your data.
They're just trying to...
If you want to grab Atlas VPN, they have a great deal going on right now for just $1.70 a month and 6 months extra for free. We've provided a link in the description you can use to grab this deal. Try it out with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Not only does it protect your data, it also keeps your searches completely private. Also, protect unlimited devices at once. No limits are set. One subscription only for the best price. That's why we use Atlas. Oh, did we forget to mention it saves you a lot of money booking online? It's that easy. Grab Atlas VPN using the link in the description and secure your data today.
In 2004, Google...
Okay, it's important to note, I don't agree with that sponsor. I just let it play because it was literally in the video. But this video specifically says, you'll see here coming up, this video specifically says it's controversial, or it contradicts itself, because what you find out in this video, you'll find out that Atlas VPN, that shit, that's pointless, completely pointless. Antivirus software, pointless. So don't waste your money. All right, I just wanted to throw that in there. Don't waste your money.
Over Keyhole, a mapping technology startup funded by the National Geospatial Agency, NGA, and the CIA. It was developed into Google Maps. The enterprise version of the Keyhole has even been shopped to the Pentagon and associated agencies under multi-million-dollar contracts. These should raise a question on our minds whether there is a relationship between the CIA and the tech giant. However, there have been many claims from Google that it was never funded or created by the Central Intelligence Agency. For example, when a story was circulating in 2006 about Google receiving funds from the intelligence community in the past years to help fight, the company told John Battelle, founder of Wired magazine, that the statements related to Google are completely untrue. The big question now is, did the CIA fund Brin and Page's research and thus create Google? No. But were they researching exactly what the NSA, CIA, and the intelligence was hoping for? Absolutely. Brin's breakthrough research on page ranking by tracking user queries and linking them to the many searches conducted, essentially identifying birds of a feather, was largely the aim of the intelligence community's MDDS program, and Google succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. To understand this, you need to think about what the intelligence community was trying to achieve by providing grants to the best in academia. The CIA and NSA funded an unclassified, diverse, but elaborate program from the beginning to encourage the development of something that is almost like Google. The investment arms of the Central Intelligence Agency and Google support a company that monitors the internet in real time, and reported it uses the information to predict the future. This seems to be the first time that the intelligence community and Google are funding the same startup at the same time. No one accuses Google of cooperating directly with the CIA, but the investment is bound to feed Google's critics, who see the search giant as already very friendly with the United States government and fear that the company is starting to forget its mantra: don't be evil.
This is the facts. This is not science fiction. This is not me being paranoid. The antivirus paradigm is no longer functional. It doesn't work. I said this 10 years ago, and I'm the person who invented it. So people should listen. I mean, if I invented it and I built the first antivirus company, viruses are not the problem. By the time hackers have planted malware in your system, it's way too late. Hackers spend weeks, months, or sometimes years sniffing around in your system, taking what they want before they even plant malware. But you can find the presence of a hacker in your system so easily. Every hacker has to go through certain steps in order to break into any system and do damage. The first thing they have to do is get through the firewall, and all firewalls have holes. It's impossible to build a firewall that can keep out all hackers. It just can't be done. They have to get through the firewall, and then they have to find out where they are, and so what's on this net. So they sniff every device on the network. You have people, I mean, I've even heard people at Google say that if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Well, I've never heard anything crazier. It's insane to say if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. We are humans. We are living in an imperfect
These are those rhombohedron crystals in your pineal gland. When those crystals become electrically active
world. Over half of all smartphones, both iOS and Android, are infected with keystroke logging software. This is a known fact. Every site in the world, if you have ever, I'm sure nobody here has ever looked at it, but if you have, then you have keystroke logging software. How do you think they make their money? See, this is the issue. It costs millions of dollars to maintain these massive databases and have the bandwidth to disperse this, and yet you don't pay. Yes, you're paying. The instant you visit the site, if you have an Android, for example, the site runs a JavaScript which sets the download unauthorized application flag. The very first video that you watch, you now, because that's a click-through, you clicked, you did something. You said, yes, oh, good, that's yes, I'll do that. Downloads, first and foremost, a remote rooting function. If it's an iPhone, a remote jailbreaking program. All can be remotely rooted now. After it's rooted, they download a keylogger, and all this takes just a matter of seconds. And from that point on, somebody is watching every single one of your keystrokes. Now, people pay these sites for the ability to put their keylogging software on your phones. Why? Well, maybe they're a Bitcoin aficionado, and they're going to see, do you have a Bitcoin wallet like Mycelium or what have you? Yes. Well, they're just going to hang around until you access it and input your keys or your passwords, and the next day, your wallet's going to be empty. Or maybe you do online banking, all right? You have a password, you have an application. The very first time you've logged into your bank to check your balance or do anything, they go, thank you very much. And the next day, your bank balance will disappear. Now, why has this not happened to you already? Because hackers are not stupid. In order to take something, they have to download additional software. If they only take 400 or 500 people's bank accounts in one day, then the next day, the white hat hackers are going to say, this is how they did it. Everybody, you can protect yourself. No, they're going to wait until one day this year or next year, and 100 million people in one day are going to have your bank accounts eradicated. Zero balance, or your identity will be stolen, or your Bitcoin wallet will be emptied. Or maybe they've been watching your keystrokes to see if, maybe you're saying something to a friend or a lover that maybe could compromise you. Maybe they can blackmail you. If they get lucky, you might be a United States congressman or a senator, in which case, now not only do they have money, they have power. And the Russian cyber mafia and the Chinese cyber mafia are so powerful, they pay literally hundreds of millions of dollars to these sites to allow them to access your smartphone so that at some point they can utilize that. Now, you said, how secure are they? Well, they're not. They're not. Neither the alt currency wallets nor anything else in the cloud. Because what is the cloud? We haven't thought this through, people. The cloud is a place where I'm going to store data. I don't know what computer it's on or even what country it's in. I don't know who is managing it and monitoring it and controlling it. I don't know what type of security facilities you have. I know nothing. And I'm willing to put my valuable data there? No. Why would we do that? Now, if it's something I don't care about, that if you steal it, I don't care. It's a list of books I read. I'll just recreate it from the web. But if it's something that matters, it's like saying, we've all agreed now we have secrets, yes? Why don't you let me keep your secrets? Why should you be burdened with having to keep your secrets? I mean, you've got too many stories to tell. Why don't you give it to me and let me manage it for you? Isn't that crazy? And that's what we're doing with our, quote, secret data. That is data we don't want to have stolen from us or taken or accessed.
Boom. There's a whole lot of truth right there to unpack, isn't there? So, if I mean, I got some information from that. Like that was very telling. I mean, he seems to be a pretty somebody who would be in the know, very credible person, right? And he's willing to tell you that over half of Apple and Android devices are rooted, have malware that roots the phone automatically without you even knowing it, right? I mean, it's not like you have to worry about if you're an activist or if you're an investigative journalist or a world leader to have Pegasus on your phone. No, basically, it just skipped right ahead to from that to what he's saying is pretty much everybody. I mean, it sounds like they put this malware in things that they hope encompasses everybody, right? That's the whole point. And I'm sure there are sites, there are different things that everybody, almost everybody, has clicked on at some point, has gone to at some point or another, right? That's where I'd start looking to begin with, right? Now, porn, like he said, of course, nobody's ever looked at porn, right? I mean, come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Um, I don't look at porn on a normal basis, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I haven't looked at some porn on my phone. That would be a bull-faced lie. And if you're one of these people that are going to claim you haven't, come on, are you lying? Who are you trying to lie to, yourself or somebody else? But yeah, I mean, I could probably count on one hand how many times I've looked at porn in the last couple of years. You know, and that's honest to God. I'm not lying there. But that doesn't. That's all it takes, though. That's all it takes, right? And your phone's compromised. And the people that are in the know that should have integrity, they know this, and they're letting it happen. Why is that? Is it because the the Russian and Chinese mafia have them blackmailed? Is it because they have them by the balls and they're used to having power, so they're not going to risk their whole life getting flipped upside down and getting exposed, and they're going to trade their life for all of yours. They're going to trade they're going to preserve their fucking fraud, their power. They're going to maintain their power and preserve that in exchange for all of your privacy. How do you feel about that? That seems to be what the case. What's happened here? We all feared that politicians are corrupt and everything else, but if all it takes is look at a little bit of porn and then they have all your data off your phone, just imagine that. Imagine they probably have the American government by the balls if they can do that. You know, if they have all the data from all the politicians and all the senators, and imagine what they could do with that type of information. That means our whole government's pretty much compromised. If you speculate, that senators look at porn, or I mean, or if they've ever done anything that's a little bit corrupt, or a little bit not right. If they got threatened and got blackmailed, what do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to throw their career away because it's the right thing to do? Or do you think they're going to play ball to protect themselves? They're already towards the end of their life at this point. They're already, approaching retirement, and they're thinking about what kind of legacy they're going to leave behind. You think they're going to compromise that and they're going to give it all up and end up with that fear of being remembered as the bad guy? Or do you think they're going to do whatever it takes to keep that information from coming out, right? And it comes at the cost of all of yours privacy, everybody's privacy, and everybody's financial account, and everybody's data, period. Which is it's everything. It's everything. We no longer live in a free world. It's power is determined by whoever holds the most data, whoever holds the most fucking secrets, everybody else's secrets. That's where the power is at right now. Think about it. I mean, I have a lot of speculations. I'm not going to sit here and list them all because I don't have, they don't really do anything. It's just speculations. but I'm sure you do too. So spread this around, please. Share this with your family, friends, neighbors, everybody you can, because this is the truth right there, like what you just heard. I don't believe any of that's a lie at all. I don't believe any of it is meant to mislead you at all. I don't think any of it is fear mongering. I think it's just what it is, the absolute truth. It's the unfortunate truth, but we all need to face it. It might be scary. It might not. You might not like it because you might not know what to do about it. What do you do about that? Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's just work on informing everybody, making everybody aware that this is what the case is. This is it. So, with that being said, be good or be good at it. Peace.